Hi, everybody. Ian Bremmer here and around your world in 180 seconds. Have your questions, as always, lined up right here on my phone, and we're ready to go. Number one, why is Trump suddenly backing sending missiles to Ukraine after previously opposing it? Two reasons. First of all, Ukraine is much more willing now to back down and support what Trump wants, accepting with no preconditions a 2-month ceasefire that Trump has demanded, and also accepting a critical minerals deal that gives the Americans some say in the outcome, some stake in what happens in Ukraine long term. But also, and frankly, more importantly, the fact that President Putin has rebuffed all efforts by Trump to come to a deal and accept a ceasefire, very willing to talk, not willing to stop bombing. Trump is upset about that, and that's why Trump has flipped on Ukraine more than any other issue in foreign policy over the last 6 months, and NATO allies and the Ukrainians are certainly happy to see it. Okay, with Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, facing a coalition shakeup, what does that mean for a ceasefire in Gaza? On balance, I think it gets us a little closer. The fact that one of the ultra-Orthodox parties is leaving the coalition, Bibi still has a narrow majority in the Knesset and can still run the country, but long term, it is now less likely that his government will succeed by relying on the far right. Having said that, his own Likud party is much more popular today than it has been at any point since October 7th or even just before the October 7th attacks. And that means a new election could well lead to Netanyahu in a stronger position with other non-right coalition partners. And if that's the case, it's a lot easier to get to a Gaza ceasefire. Though the meetings he had in the United States accomplished very little. One friend of mine in Washington that met with him said that clearly Hebrew translates well into filibuster. So that was the not much from last week. Will Trump's threat of 100% tariffs on Russia actually change anything? No, I don't think so. The fact that this is 50 days, usually Trump gives 2 weeks, if he really wants to get something done and see if there's a need to actually impose any threats against a country. This is a long time in Trump years. And furthermore, the idea of secondary sanctions seems a little silly. Trump is not going to, in the midst of trying to get to yes with the Indians where a deal is close and stabilize relations with China where he's been backing down, he's not going to suddenly say, I'm going to hit all your banks and stop you from buying energy from Russia. So I think that's not a serious point here. The serious point is the intelligence support and the weapons support for Ukraine. That's it for me. I'll talk to you all real soon.